Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. It always seems impossible until it's done. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Difficulties break some men but make others. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. I hate race discrimination most intensely and in all its manifestations. I have fought it all during my life, I fight it now, and will do so until the end of my days. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Lead from the back, and let others believe they are in front. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. It is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. Respect for language and culture must extend to every single person who lives in this country. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. We must build a society in which all South Africans have equal opportunity to develop their talents. Freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. A fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives will go a long way in making the world the better place we so passionately dreamt of. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear.